Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuwah and the truth. We are continuing on with the Magisterium series today. I'm just checking real quick. I believe we're on number 14. We're on 14. I messed it up yesterday and I had to go back and change it to 13. Okay. And I'm going to test the waters a bit, and on my other account I'm going to be starting the Beguiled series again, but I'm going to be starting from where we left off. It's just I hope they don't censor it again, because the next chapter talks about the ELF, or the elf, so I have to be a little careful, but that account I haven't had any strikes on, so they would just give me a warning. So I'm just going to go ahead with that. And my Rumble account, I haven't finished uploading all of the Beguiled videos yet, but there's some uploaded already that you guys can watch. And that's with no spaces, but the capital Y for Yahuwah's beloved with a capital B, daughter with a capital D. And that's with no, they wouldn't allow me to add spaces or any like weird markings or quotation marks or anything. Okay, so the way I had the bookmark here. So I believe we are on alternative to men's traditions, the word. Which yoke, Yahusha's or man's? There is still a division over what some perceive as as traditions orally handed down. Every word of Yahuwah was written and read aloud to the people. The oral instructions or traditions of the fathers was the paradigm Paul said was his former way of living by. He called it Yehudaism. For you have heard of the former way of my former way of life in Yehudaism, how intensely I persecuted the assembly of Elohim, or the assembly of Yahuwah, and ravaged it. Galatians 1:13. Note the phrase, former way of life. This yoke, or teaching authority, of men is what is being described here also. Now then, why do you try Yahuwah by putting a yoke on the neck of the taught ones, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear? Acts 15:10. It is what was added, the leaven of men's teachings, that Yahusha called old wine. The traditions of men are the object lesson from matzah, unleavened bread. We must become unleavened, purging the teaching authorities and corrupting influences of men's ideas. Men's teachings block the pure and clean objective of love, which the Torah's goal is to teach us. There's a link. I will add it in the description box. Beware the blog, free PDF download from TorahZone.net. I have one of those. It is a good pamphlet. What will happen to people who listen to false teachings? Romans 10:14 helps to explain how important our mission is, and that someone has to be sent. Then speak to the lost. The blame for never hearing the truth is not on the ones who never hear it, but it falls on the deceiver who altered and diverted everything towards sun worship. That is, the king of Babel, the dragon. His servants are masquerading as messengers of light. 2 Corinthians 11:13-15. Yashayahu 14 describes this fallen being and his end. Yahusha is the only judge, and we must test all things to see if they align with his word. If we reject truth, we will be sent a strong delusion. 2 Thessalonians 2:11. And our chains will be tightened for as long as we continue mocking and believing lies. Yashayahu 28:22. Wormwood. Changing the word of Yahuwah causes wormwood. Wormwood is a bitterness towards the idea of obedience. Try to imagine Yahusha teaching people to alter the day he rested on each week while living among men. Now imagine him punishing those who obey his commandments and rewarding those who follow men's traditions. Wormwood is literally everywhere. And then there's a link to the video. The teachings, and I'll put that down in the description box. The teachings of men have changed the Torah and violated the everlasting covenant. Release is coming. Yahusha told us to watch for his return. The days prior to his return will rapidly turn into a living nightmare for the inhabitants of the earth. The events unleashed will terrify most, yet a few of us will lift up our heads because we see our Redeemer who loves us approaching. I can't say that any perception we might form in our minds of the timing of Yahusha's return will prepare anyone, but there has to be an important connection to the 10th day of the 7th month, Leviticus 25, 9 through 10, and how it relates to his redemption plan. I almost said seventh moon because of the way Brother Lew described how the month came from the word moon in one of his other books. The main idea that we should remember about the days being shortened for the sake of the chosen ones is to give us hope and not despair in the midst of the wrath poured out around us. Yahusha wants us to be assured that he knows who he has sealed for the day that is coming, and to trust in him, not our own understanding. He knows those who are his. His thoughts for us are always good, and he has wonderful plans for us. Watch a video on this, and I'll put a link in the description for that. Our inheritance is about to be restored to us, and his name is Yahusha. On the day Yahuwah pours out his fiery wrath on the disobedient inhabitants, his chosen ones will be among the people being burned, but it will not harm them. Those who have been immersed and called on the name of Yahusha will be delivered on the day of redemption of our bodies. But false ideas about getting raptured have misled many people. Yahusha described it in his parable of the wheat and tares. First gather the weeds to be burned, then gather the wheat into my barn or my granary. Psalm 91 describes this event, and because we know his name, he will deliver us. The next part is pretty long, and my throat is kind of scratchy today, so I'm going to cut the video a little bit short. But I'm not going to be able to fit all of the titles in the top, but each corresponding video link or the link for the PDF download for the pamphlet will be under each title in my description box. I wish I could sing today because there was a song that would have went really well with this. But I love you all with an everlasting love, as our Abba Yahuwah and the Shamayim loves each and every one of us. Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuwah and the truth. And please like and subscribe and share, and subscribe to my other channel, Yahuwah's, with a little thing before the S, beloved daughter, with the spaces in between on YouTube. And then my Rumble account, there's no spaces and no little thing for the S. All right. Love you all so much. Shalom.